IVM.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Musafir Stories, India's very own travel podcast, where each week we discuss the story of travelers in their own words and relive their experiences with you, our listeners.
Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of the Musafir Stories. Hope you all are well and keeping safe. Before we get on with today's episode, a quick shout out to Smart Dhyana. Remove all the negativity from your mind and body and try to uplift your mood in the best way possible. Go ahead and follow the path of mindful meditation with the help of Dhyana Meditation Tracker. A perfect combination of mobile application and a wearable smart ring, Dhyana tracks the heart rate variability and measures the effect of meditation on the autonomous nervous system. And it offers you a complete breakdown report of your meditation session. It offers seamless and the most effective meditation sessions by reversing the effect of stress and anxiety to help new as well as seasoned meditators. You can now avail a special discount by visiting www.smartdhyana.com and using the promo code Musafir, that is MUSAFIR. The link to Smart Dhyana's website will be in the show notes section. Now, talking about today's episode, we are delighted to be taking you to the Sahyadri as we explore Pune with the Shepherd Traveller.
So, with that introduction, we'd love to welcome Shraddha Maheshwari from the blog shepherdtraveler.com. Shraddha, thank you so much for being a part of the Musafir Stories and welcome to the podcast.
Hi Shraddha, welcome to the Musafir Stories.
Hello Faiza, hello Saif. First of all, let me tell you, I'm a huge fan of your podcast. My first one was the Great Indian Road Trip, and after listening it, I just wanted to take a bike and go all over India.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's great to hear. And thank you. We were also really excited looking at the blog, Shraddha. I mean, you've blogged about a variety of things, a variety of travels in India and across the world as well.
Yeah.
But what caught us and our eye was obviously your hometown, Pune, right? I'll give it away. I won't maintain the suspense, but I really liked your coverage of Pune, right? Very broad and very in-depth at the same time. So really loved it. And I'd been meaning to reach out to you for a while and really glad that this has happened now. But before we get into specifics about our itinerary, right? Why don't you speak a little bit more about yourself and your blog?
Yeah, so I'm Shraddha, the founder of travel blog called shepherdtraveler.com, traveler with double L. So this blog is born out of my immense love for nature and adventures. So basically I had this idea that I need to travel, I need to explore the world, I need to go places. And then I thought, why not document this journey as I go ahead? So this is how I started the travel blog.
Okay,
Wonderful.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and it's really nice to know that you've been pursuing your dream and traveling so much. So.
Yeah, and like I also always I'm a huge proponent of traveling locally, right? Looking at your own surroundings before you kind of get to those aspirational places like within India or outside of India. And that's what I loved most about your blog, like I mentioned earlier as well, the kind of coverage of Pune that you've given. A lot of us don't know enough about it as outsiders. So really love that. And yeah, it's been ages now. It almost feels like a lifetime, but I think it was about 12 years ago that I was back in Pune, visiting Pune for the first time.
That's a long time. That's a really long time. You need to come back soon.
Exactly. I know a lot of things would have changed, but I still remember getting down on Jangli Maharaj Road, JM Road. So wonderful. Yeah, but before that, before we kind of start and get into the specifics about Pune, right? Why don't you tell us a little bit more about Pune as well, right? For some of us, just assuming some of us don't know where Pune is and why one should visit Pune. Do you want to draw out a little bit of an outline, both where it's located and about Pune?
So Pune is located in state of Maharashtra in western part of India, in what is called as the Deccan Plateau. The Sahyadri mountain ranges are lined up towards the west of Pune, so there are a lot of mountain treks and hikes around here, and Pune is often called the Tekdyanche Shahar, which means the city of hills.
Okay.
So let me explain why. If you are in Pune right now, or whenever you come to Pune, just go to the top of your building on the terrace or balcony, and I guarantee you that you will see at least one hill on the horizon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so this makes Pune very exciting city. It is just surrounded by hills, waterfalls, lakes, dams, and it's very nice to explore around here.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think Pune also comes in one of those top cities to live within India as
one of the
well.
most livable cities.
Yeah. With respect to lifestyle and living, it's one of the very good standard. And even with respect to IT,
As they say, they normally say, "Jo ithe ala, hitlas zala." Means the one who comes here stays here.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like Faiza mentioned, right? Even in terms of the most livable city, and now it's also become a hub of a lot of
IT
mainstream,
companies, yeah.
IT industry and automobile industry.
For education also, and for job also.
Absolutely. So yeah, it seems to have the best of everything, and that's why we were like really, really keen. And one more little insight I'll give you is that Pune is also it seems to be very popular with our listeners. It always features in the top 2 or 3 cities where our podcast is heard most. So that's why I think the people and listeners of Pune also much love from us to them, and give them an episode.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys.
My excitement is reaching another level now that you have mentioned this.
Yeah, so it had been like a long time, but we've spoken a little bit about how geographically Pune is kind of filled with all of these nature's bounty, if I may call it, right? Like right from the hills to the lakes and the Western Ghats and the Sahyadris, like you mentioned, all of that. But even in terms of
even in terms of travel, Shraddha, what would be the best time when someone could come and visit Pune?
The best time of the year in Pune is monsoon, from June to September. At this time, the whole landscape comes alive with gushing waterfalls, gurgling streams, rushing clouds, green mountains, and crazy winds.
Perfect.
So it's the perfect time to visit Pune in the monsoon.
Okay.
But if you hate the rains, which I don't know why you would hate the rains, then winter is the best time for you to visit Pune.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I think even with respect to the monsoons, when you come there and if you end up going to a trek with everything being lush green, it would make it even more perfect.
Yeah, I think some of the best monsoon treks in India are also out of this region, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah. And how about commute, Shraddha? With respect to getting to Pune, can you call out that for our listeners as well?
Yeah, so if you're coming from outside India, so you can come to Mumbai airport or you can come to Pune from Pune airport.
Okay.
And Pune is very well connected by buses. So if you're coming from nearby towns in Maharashtra or Karnataka or Gujarat, you can come with buses or trains also. Trains are also very well connected to Pune.
Okay, sounds perfect.
Yeah, definitely not far away from Mumbai, and favorite getaway of a lot of the people of Mumbai who want to kind of, right now even Pune has become a little crowded, to be honest, but back in the day, I think it was a favorite hangout of a lot of people from Mumbai for the weekend. Wonderful. Now we kind of touched upon all of the surroundings and the nature's bounty of Pune, but I'd also quickly like to touch upon a little bit of the history, right? Because even in historical terms, Pune is a very, very significant place. It's been obviously the seat of the Peshwas, the prime ministers of the Chhatrapatis or the kings of the region.
Yes, yes.
But even before that, it has history and has been ruled by the likes of the Rashtrakutas to the Yadavas. And like I mentioned, obviously the Peshwas was when it kind of hit the peak of its power and its importance. But yeah, historically also a very, very significant place, right? Would you like to add something about that?
Okay, so Pune has inherited a lot of history, and it all started. It all started like this. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj first took his oath of establishing Swarajya, which means independence, in a place called Raireshwar near Pune.
Okay.
Then he captured the Fort Torna, which is near Lonavala, and this was the first step towards Swarajya. Then after that followed the bravery of Maratha armies, the courage of Tanaji Malusare, then the Peshwas, then the love story of Baji Rao and Mastani, and after that the revolutionaries, all the revolutionaries including Lokmanya Tilak, Chafekar brothers, Gopal Ganesh Agarkar, and even Mahatma Gandhi all have left their footprints and traces around Pune city. I'll keep referring to these events as we talk about places in Pune.
Absolutely. Thank you for that quick overview of some of the important personalities. And yeah, I mean, lovers of Bollywood movies would have been a little familiar now with the likes of Baji Rao Mastani and Tanhaji more recently, also, right, kind of featuring some of the important stories that come from the region. Awesome. So thank you so much for kind of outlining this beautifully. Now, quickly jumping into the specifics, right, of someone who's traveling to Pune, how long of an itinerary would you suggest?
Okay, I'll tell in detail. It takes 2 to 3 days to visit all the major attractions in Pune. And then you can add a few more days for visiting other places around Pune, or for doing some crazy things like paragliding, trekking to the waterfalls, or river rafting, and there are many more things like that. So I'd suggest you plan a trip to Pune for 6 to 8 days, depending on what you want to see and what you want to experience.
And of course, not to forget even the shopping that comes along with all of this.
Shopping and the food, because
Yes.
Pune has its
Food also.
very own niche in terms of both shopping and food. Awesome. So let's dive into the specifics a little bit, like you called out. Starting off with one of the really iconic places within Pune, right? And no prizes for guessing that, I would say. The Shaniwar Wada, right? That's been like the seat of power in Pune for the Peshwas, like you mentioned, starting off with Baji Rao the first. He kind of started it, and this is under his rule that he moved his capital to Shaniwar Wada here in Pune. Would you like to touch upon this iconic monument and what one can find within?
So Shaniwar Wada is like the icon of Pune, and it's this beautiful grand palace of Peshwas right in the center of Pune. So I recommend you to visit it in the morning when it opens at 9 a.m.
Okay.
It has these huge walls and bastions all around it, which you can walk on. Like you can climb upon those walls and walk all around Shaniwar Wada. And Shaniwar Wada was originally a 7-story building, and it was full of wonders, and it was this wonderful magical palace which they had built right near the river. But then there was some unexplained fires, and later the Panchet flood which destroyed it completely, or you can say partially. And when you visit the fort, you will notice that the bottom half of the walls are of stone, and the top half of them are made up of bricks. So originally Shaniwar Wada was meant to be completely of stone, but then it was decided that only the king, that is Shahu Maharaj of Satara, can have a stone palace. So the rest of it was to be made with bricks. So this is the story why half of it is in stone and half of it is in bricks. And once inside, you should not miss the fountain Hazari Karanje. So it's a lotus shaped fountain which has 16 jets of water going as high as 80 feet.
Wow.
And it was a beautiful architectural wonder at that time.
Definitely, and a little more context to add there was Chimaji Appa, right, the brother of Peshwa Baji Rao I. He was the one who built Shaniwar Wada while Baji Rao was away on his military expeditions. That's when Chimaji built this beautiful structure out. And it was around it was around 1732, I believe, is when this was built. And like you mentioned, it's had its highs and lows as well. Its highest point, obviously, during Peshwa Baji Rao's rule. Yeah, Peshwa Baji Rao, the very popular ruler of the region, who was really during the period of 1720 to 40 when he ruled. He was kind of one of the real strongholds of the Indian.
Yes, he was. He fought in many wars, and he was like the best warrior, which Shahu Maharaj had.
Yeah, exactly. The Prime Minister of Chhatrapati Shahu, and in terms of even his military valor, right? It was it's believed that he never lost a war. He fought about 40 battles, and he never lost a single one of them. So the Maratha Empire kind of grew during his time, and further during his son Nana Sahib, or Balaji Baji Rao, like his name was, right? So under their rule, it is when the Maratha Empire expanded further. And also a couple of quick things about Shaniwar Wada is that it has, you mentioned about the beautiful fountains it has, and the wonderful gardens as well within the complex. And the Vada itself, it used to be like 6 or 7 stories in the past, right? And unfortunately, I think sometime during the British rule is when it kind of lost its significance a little bit, because I mean, obviously the British also tried to kind of not give it as much importance as was given previously during the time of the Peshwas, and they had set up different things like offices, and there was a hospital, and even a lunatic asylum, if you could believe that. And apparently in one of these wooden structures was where the fire caught, and the sources of it is not known, but that fire kind of spread and kind of destroyed a lot of the beautiful structure that was, and what we see is only a part of the remaining Vada.
What we see is only a part, but it is only a part. But even if we see this part, we can imagine how rich and royal these kings were. We can imagine what the time used to be, and we can just get that feeling when we visit Shaniwar Wada.
Yeah, true.
Absolutely. And it's also been I think even beyond the unfortunate incident of the fire, right? It's also been a couple of other incidents also I saw was, I think it was Narayan Rao, right? The grandson of Baji Rao. He was killed here by his very own uncle. So that was an unfortunate incident. And I also think Madhar Rao II, who was the great-grandson of Baji Rao, he fell off the balcony of Shaniwar Wada into one of these fountains, and unfortunately lost his life. So it has seen some very important incidents,
events.
Right? Yeah, if you may call them dark
events. It has seen dark events, and even now people say on a full moon night, someone shouts from the inside, "Kaka mala vachwa." So he says, "Uncle, save me." So they say it's the ghost which says this.
Exactly, believed to be Narayan Rao's, right? Who was killed here, like I mentioned earlier. Lots of stories, lots of legends, and a lot of history. No wonder, right? It's
and architecture.
Not even to forget about that, right? Yeah, several forts in Maharashtra and in Pune specifically, but the Shaniwar Wada definitely stands out, and I believe that the name also Shaniwar is basically Saturday, right? It was believed that it was Baji Rao believed that it was an auspicious day, and that's how he named it as Shaniwar Wada, is basically an estate or a property, and
The area around Shaniwar Wada is called Shaniwar Pet. So just so if you're coming, you even if you go to Shaniwar Pet, you can see these walls, really huge walls, and you will know it's Shaniwar Wada.
Exactly. And yeah, like I was saying, it's also believed that Baji Rao, I think, right, while he was setting up the place for a new capital, he saw a dog being chased by a hare or a
Yes.
rabbit, and
Yes,
that
yes.
kind of
And it was like an assurance that this place will not face any defeat. So that's why he decided to build the grand palace at this place.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's some of the history and the legends associated to Shaniwar Wada, and definitely do make it a point to visit here
Yeah,
if you
and
can.
even
the
with
first-
respect to tourist aspect, you even have the sound and light show, right? Did you get a chance to see that also, Shraddha?
Yeah, it's in the evenings around after 7 p.m. So you can see. But personally, I think it's the best in the morning.
Morning? Okay, perfect. Yeah, you're the guide, so you know
Expert,
better.
yeah.
Exactly.
Because those light shows and all, they keep going on and off. So you can't say like they will happen for sure like that.
Perfect. Okay, sounds like a perfect itinerary. Head over to Shaniwara
Shaniwar
during the
Wada.
mornings. Yeah.
During the mornings. Awesome. So now, after we want to spend some time and seeing around the rich history and the tradition of the Peshwas in the Wada, where do you suggest we go next?
Yeah, next place I would suggest is Aga Khan Palace, which is in Koregaon Park. So this is like a royal property spread over 13 acres with beautifully landscaped gardens and fountains, and it's also located on the banks of River Mula. So inside the palace, there's also a place. At a place they have beautiful memorials for Mahatma Gandhi and his wife Kasturba Gandhi, and also their assistant Mahadev Desai. So the story goes that during the freedom struggle, Gandhiji and his wife and their assistant were under house arrest at Aga Khan Palace, and Kasturba Gandhi died here in Pune during this period of house arrest. So that's why they have these memorials, which are really beautiful and humbling, and they also have some old article furniture which was used by Gandhiji in the museum here.
Okay. Yeah. So Gandhiji and his wife was confined here for almost 2 years, right, in this palace.
Yes. Also, Sarojini Naidu was also confined, but then she was released.
Yeah, definitely something really worthwhile to check out. In terms of the architecture also, it's it's a very beautifully made structure. And a little bit of history is that Aga Khan, right, if some of you are not aware, Aga Khan or Aga Khanis as they're referred to is basically a sect within the Shia Muslim community, right, of Islam.
Yes.
And Aga Khan is the titular head or the imam as they believe. So he's Aga Khan IV, I think, was the Aga Khan IV, I think, was the one who constructed this in 1892 for the people of Pune.
For
right?
providing employment to Pune, people from Pune.
Exactly. So he built it, and obviously it has a lot of significance in terms of it being used to arrest and house arrest Mahatma Gandhi and his wife Kasturba Gandhi, right? So yeah, really important place. One should definitely check it out, both for the history of it, the beautiful architecture of it, and it has some great lawns that are spread out as well. So definitely do check this place out as well. Awesome. Now, having spent some time at the Aga Khan Palace, right, where would you suggest we head from here?
So there's a hill here in Pune, which is the highest point of Pune city.
Okay.
It's called Parvati Hill.
Okay.
And there's a temple on the top, and there's also one museum on the top. So this is best to visit this in the evening, this place in the evening, and watch sunset at this place.
That's beautiful. Yeah, Pune, like we mentioned at the beginning, also has a ton of beautiful hills, and the Parvati Hill is just one of them, right? And the second highest hill, I believe, in Pune, and like Shraddha called out, it has a beautiful temple and a museum as well. Do you want to call out a little bit about that?
Yes, so this museum on the top, this is the place where you can see Peshwa Baji Rao yourself. So the thing is, many people say Mastani was beautiful and all that stuff, but I think Baji Rao was more handsome. So you can see him in a painting here among many other objects, which will give you an idea of the Maratha heritage. The temple is Shiva temple, which was a favorite place for the Peshwas to go.
Okay.
Okay.
And what about the museum, Shraddha? Does it have some really interesting artifacts? You did mention that it has the paintings. Anything else that caught
It
your eye?
has the paintings which are the most beautiful part of the museum, and there's also some things like the old furnitures or the clothes they used to use, the armor and all the stuff like that.
Okay, great, interesting.
And by the way, Parvat is not made for wheelchairs, so you have to climb some steep steps to reach the top of it.
Okay, great. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah, something to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And also another important thing, I believe, is the samadhi or the tomb of Balaji Baji Rao, right? Baji Rao's son also lies here.
Yes.
So that's important. And a beautiful view of Pune city, especially on a sunset. What more can one ask for? And even the temples, I believe, these were like the ones frequented by the Peshwas. And Balaji Baji Rao was, I think, he constructed the important temple here. It has several temples, I believe, 4 or 5 temples, but the Deveshwar temple is the one that's the most important one here. Awesome. So having spent some time here at the Peshwa Museum as well as the temple on the hill and enjoying some beautiful views of the city, where would you suggest we move on next?
So there's another museum where you can go, Raja Dinkar Kelkar Museum. It's also commonly called as Kelkar Museum.
Okay.
So the story behind it is Mastani Bai was the second wife of Peshwa Baji Rao.
Right.
And she initially lived with him at Shaniwar Wada, but the Brahmins of Pune and his own family didn't like her. So he just built another palace for Mastani Bai in Kothur, and it was called Mastani Mahal.
Okay.
But then it was demolished. It was demolished and destroyed, and then the remains from Mastani's palace of Kothur are reconstructed and kept here at Kelkar Museum. So that's the whole story behind Kelkar Museum.
Oh, okay.
That's very interesting. And for some of you who want to get a good insight into the story of Baji Rao and Mastani, the love story that became famous, you should definitely check out the Ranveer Singh Deepika Padukone starrer Baji Rao Mastani. You'll get a fair idea. Obviously, some of the things are they've used the cinematic liberties, but I think at an overall level, high level, you'll get a good idea of the love
What
story
the
that's
story
become
is.
Exactly the famous story that became, right? Awesome. So, Pune has a lot of museums also, right? Something one might not have kind of given too much thought about, but there's a bunch of very interesting and quirky museums in Pune as well. Do you want to call out a few of the other museums as well, Shraddha?
Yes. There's one more called Cycle Museum. So Pune was earlier called as Cycle Inse Shahar, which means the city of cycles.
Okay.
So long before the urbanization and the tar roads all took over, the only way of transport in Pune was cycles, and we just love that golden era. So this little hidden museum in Pune has preserved everything from that past era.
Oh, wow.
It's a 3-story museum which has more than 150 vintage bicycles and tricycles, and these date back over last 100 years.
Amazing. Okay, that's definitely something that a cycle lover or anybody who likes to explore should go and check out.
And the collection belongs to Vikram Pense, and it's a home-based setup. It's a home-based setup in Kothur, and there's also other things like cycle accessories, the cycle lamps, and many other vintage articles. There's even advertisements which they used to have in the earlier times, which used to be printed on a sheet of metal. The advertisements for the cycles and everything.
Right.
So it's a very interesting place.
Okay.
And more museums. Any other museums you'd like to add? Because I found a bunch of them, especially things
Yes.
like the Blades of Glory.
Yes, the cricket museum for the fans who want to see. There are bats signed by almost all the cricketers at this museum. Yeah, it's also called Blades of Glory, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly that. Then I saw there was another museum of miniature railways was one. Then there's a Lokmanya Tilak Museum, Mahatma Phule, Pune Tribal Museum, Maratha History Museum, National War Museum, Shivaji Maharaj Museum.
Wow, that's
There's
a lot.
a lot of
Yeah.
museums.
That actually even speaks about Pune's rich history.
yeah.
So it has so much to offer to the current generation.
I mean, I would have never imagined this. Such a literally treasure trove of history and culture that's hidden right in all of
Yeah,
these museums.
and it's interesting to see everything and just feel like how it must have been earlier, especially the ones related to Peshwas. It's those museums I find them very interesting with respect to history.
True. And the museums and places like these, like historical places and museums, just transport you back to that era where you can pretty much visualize how beautiful it would have been.
Absolutely. Now, having spent some time at the museums of your choice, you have a lot of options to pick from. Where do you prefer that we go next?
So the next I would say you should check out Dagdushet Temple.
Okay.
So there are there are many temples also in Pune city, but I'll tell you two temples which you must visit when you are in Pune. And one of them is very touristy, popular and crowded, almost always. And the other one I'll tell you about is it's nobody knows about it, and it's beautiful, quiet and calm. So obviously Dagdushet is the popular one. And Ganesha is the most worshipped god in Pune city. So Dagdushet Halwai temple is like the heartthrob of every Punekar, and there will be long queues for darshan almost every day. So and there will be even more rush during the festivals. But what you can do is go ahead on this road. There's a road in front of the temple, and they have a glass partition through which you can see the Ganesha idol. While standing on the main road. So you can just pray from the main road also. And I mean, even if you are going on a bike or in a car or in a bus also via Shivaji Road, if your bus is going on Shivaji Road, you can see it, you can pray from whatever transport you are going through, you can see it from the road itself.
Oh, that's nice. That gives everybody an option to do the darshan even without getting inside the temple.
Especially in this busy lifestyle. I know a lot of us more.
Yeah. Great, nice. And of course, Lord Ganesha is the most favorite when you see around. And even with respect to this temple, from what we got to know, the entire gold, the amount of gold that is adorned on Lord Ganesha is almost close to 40 kgs. So 40 kilograms of gold is what the beautiful temple has. Of course, the temple is marvelously decorated, and especially how you called out, Shraddha, especially during the festivals, it lights up even more beautifully. So and I think a little history even about the temple. It was built by a halwai or a sweet maker called Dagdushet, right? I hope I'm pronouncing it right.
Dagdushet.
Yeah.
Dagdushet,
right. And it was built to help and heal. And I mean, after the loss of his son, so he built this temple, to dedicate it to Lord Ganesha, and it's a beautiful structure that stands even now.
Yeah. And at that time, they had this guru, Dagdushet Halwai had this guru who suggested that you build a temple and think of God Ganesha as your son. And he also told at that time that people even from international countries will come and visit this temple, and this temple will be very popular in the future. So that was said long before by that Guruji.
Wonderful.
Yeah, very interesting. And a 125-year-old temple, and no prizes for guessing. The Ganeshotsav for I guess the Ganesh Chaturthi, right, are the most popular festivals that are celebrated here, as in the rest of Maharashtra also. Like they say, Ganapati Bappa Moria, right?
At this time of year, it's not so quiet in Pune. It's very very festive, and Dagdushet has at the Dagdushet temple they have really amazing decorations, and even at other temples also. So they have 5 Ganpati pandals in Pune, which are called as Manache Paach Ganpati. So if you come here during the Ganesh festival, make sure you visit Dagdushet temple and also these first 5 Manache Paach Ganpati.
Very important, and yeah, a great time to visit. I think if you want to take like full advantage of the festival and the the beautiful sights and sounds that are involved during the Ganesh Chaturthi and especially Ganesh Visarjan and all of that, it's a good time to visit. Now, what was the other temple that you were referring to, Shraddha?
Yeah, I was referring to this another quite simple and amazing temple. It's a Pataleshwar temple.
Okay.
It's on Jangli Maharaj Road.
Okay.
It's a beautiful 8th century cave, and it's a rock cut cave made in Rashtrakuta style architecture. It's a temple inside of Shiva and Pataleshwar, and Pataleshwar means the god of underworld.
Yeah.
Okay.
This place has a vibe of its own. So I go here sometimes when I'm very frustrated or stuck in life, and this temple is very calming. Surprisingly, it's so calm despite being close to Deccan and on the main road.
Definitely,
Yeah.
especially with JM Road or Jangli Maharaj Road being one of the busier roads, right? And yeah, a little bit of trivia about Jangli Maharaj Road also, right? You would be wondering like, what is this Jangli Maharaj, right? Apparently, it was a saint, right, who
Yeah.
used to
Yeah.
reside in the area. He was basically somebody who used to live in the forest, basically, and that's why he was called as Jangli Maharaj. And if I'm not wrong, I think his samadhi is also somewhere close to the Pataleshwar cave.
Yes, yes.
Might be
It's
wrong.
right next to Pataleshwar temple.
It is, okay.
Right next to the Pataleshwar temple. So you can do both of these in one go.
Exactly. So yeah, that was some interesting trivia I found out about Jangli Maharaj, as well as very significant temple here. I mean, one of the older temples, 8th century temple built during the time of the Rashtrakutas, as Shraddha mentioned. Brilliant. There's a lot more in terms of
And I
temples,
think,
but
even this temple, when you look you look up about it, it is made of a single basalt rock.
Yeah.
And that I
Yeah.
think the entire architecture makes it. I mean, the ambience and the atmosphere is very peaceful, even because of the amazing architecture and the natural elements it uses.
Yeah, and there are sculptures inside, and some of the sculptures are unfinished. So those people earlier, I think they found some fault in the rock or something like that,
Okay.
and they just left some of the sculptures unfinished. But most of the sculptures are really cool inside. You just have to look around properly, and you will find them.
Wow, nice. So yeah, one of the best places if you want to get away from the hustle and bustle, a very soothing.
Yeah, and quite the polar opposite of Dagdushet temple, right?
Exactly.
One is like very crowded, and this one, even though it's in a crowded place, it's so much more calmer. Wonderful. Now, having spent some time exploring the temples of Pune, what next would you advise someone who's exploring Pune?
Yeah, so I would advise you check out Pune University also. So it's a cool campus to explore, and personally I love the garden which is maintained in front of the main building. So lots of greenery around which make it better, and some trees in here are older than 100 years.
Oh my God, okay.
And one more fact about Pune University is it was recently renamed as Savitribai Phule
Yeah.
Pune University. So this was in the memory of Savitribai, and she was the woman who stood up for women's right to education for the first time in Pune.
Yeah, definitely very significant, and one of the iconic structures in Pune as well. And like you mentioned, Savitribai Phule, right, along with Jyotirao Phule, I think, right?
Yes.
Her husband, I think together they are kind of at the forefront of women's empowerment and women's education, right? I also believe that the
Yeah.
first girls' school in India was established by the two of them in Pune. So Pune has the
Yes,
first girls'
yes,
school in
yes.
India.
Wow.
So talk about feminism, think about Savitribai Phule is what I would say. And very important, even just in terms of the university itself, right? It has like 43 different departments and some very
Yes, yes.
iconic alumni as well, ranging from VP Singh and one of the earlier prime ministers of India to Pratibha Patil, the president, Vilasarao Deshmukh, Sharad Pawar. So, yeah, you get an idea as to how important this institution and university is.
Yeah, I'll also like to call upon the architecture. So it's built out of stones, but and it's really beautiful architecture. So if you are interested in architecture, then also you should visit and see the main building. And they also have their halls and all open for tourists. So you can just hang around over there and enjoy the cool architecture around Pune University.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, definitely do check out Pune University as well. Right now known as, I think it was renamed in 2015 to Savitribai Phule, Pune University.
Yes.
Wonderful. What next? What next? It seems like Pune has, like we said at the beginning, it has a bit of everything, right? There's like no aspect that we haven't touched, from nature to architecture to history, obviously, then the temples and the lakes. What does it not have? But yeah, where do you suggest we visit next?
So we have done enough of history, museums, and architecture. So now I would like to suggest places with nature, cool places with greenery and nature. So first one, which is a really cool place and it's very close, like it's in Pune itself, is called Arai Hilltop or Arai Tekdi or ARAI also it's called.
Yeah.
So this hill is really cool, and there's a stone quarry inside the hill, and it gets filled with water, and so many birds come here because of the water, and there's even peacocks in here.
Yeah. It's believed to be the highest point in Pune also, right? Yeah, but go on.
But it's interesting area full of trees, and these trees are planted by us locals. So we do the tree plantations several times in a year at this place.
Oh, okay. Also referred to as the lungs of Pune, right? The greenery around this patch. It's really, really beautiful. Also, I mean, previously known as Vetal Tekdi, as I understand, right? It has a Vetal
That's
temple.
because temple. Because of the Vetal temple is called Vetal Tekdi, which it's also called right now also Vetal Tekdi. The oldies call it Vetal Tekdi, and now the youngsters call it Arai Hilltop.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that.
Yeah, it's named after ARAI, like you said, right? RI, the Automobile Research Association of India, is also located here in the vicinity, and that's how it gets its name, as RI Hilltop. One of my dear friends actually works at RI, so good to know about this
Such
place.
a cool place to work at.
Yeah, I know, right? Especially in the vicinity of beautiful places like this. Wonderful. Yeah, again, goes back to the point of there being so many of these beautiful green patches, right, within the city, within the literally the heart of the city. You don't even have to travel to the suburbs or anything.
Yes.
So that's the great point.
Yeah,
Once upon a time, I think Bangalore used to be like that. I don't know if we can boast
say
about
that.
it now, but yeah.
Yeah, then I think
I hope Pune stays the same.
I really hope. Yes, yeah.
I really hope so.
Yeah. So, and Pune does have a lot of other gardens and beautiful places, right? So, one of the other gardens that I read about was called the Osho Garden. I've heard it's supposed to be really beautiful and styled according to the Japanese style layouts, having a lot of stone bridges and stone pathways. So, would you like to say a little more about that?
So Osho Garden is in Koregaon Park. It's a bit far away from the main city, but it's very, very beautiful. And the interesting fact about Osho Garden is there is a stream flowing through it, and the entire stream is made from wastewater. So the wastewater is recycled, and the whole garden is watered with this recycled wastewater.
Oh, great. Okay, interesting.
So that is something which makes it beautiful. And you can also check out the Pula Deshpande Garden on Sinhagad Road.
Okay.
So this is a Japanese style garden, and it's also called Pune Okayama Friendship Garden. So there's a place called Okayama in Japan, and they have taken the inspiration from that garden and made it like that same way here in Pune. And also, I would like to give a Bollywood reference over here. It was pictured in the movie Bodyguard, if you can remember way back the Salman Khan movie. In that movie scenes were shot in Pula Deshpande Garden.
Ah, interesting. Even there's another park that has taken inspiration from the Seven Wonders of the world, and I think it's the Seven Wonder theme
Yes,
park, right?
yes.
Where you have
I just want to mention there's one Eiffel Tower in Pune also.
right, so you don't have to go all the way so far if one wants to express their love to somebody or
Yeah.
like have a romantic evening. Just go to the Eiffel Tower in Pune.
Yeah, there's all the Seven Wonders apart from Eiffel Tower. Eiffel Tower is my personal favorite, but there's also Taj Mahal, our own wonder,
Yeah.
and they also have the Colosseum.
Right. Okay, that's fair. That's interesting. And I suppose there is even a 4D theater which showcases different shows if anybody is interested to even see that, right?
Yeah. And there's a lot of other things for kids also over there, like the cartoon statues and everything like that. So it's a good place.
Yeah. We have hills now. We have gardens that we discussed. But one thing that I'd been meaning to call out earlier as well was it has a few great trekking opportunities as well, right? Pune has some great treks.
Yeah.
Is there any that are your favorites or that you'd like to call out, Shraddha?
So there are many treks around Pune, and I have this huge list of all the treks on my site, so you can check it out. But right now I will mention two of the treks which are best and which are closer to Pune. So if you want to commute, you can reach here easily. So first one is Sinhagad, obviously. Sinhagad is the most popular fort near Pune. But I personally go there for food, especially for Sinhagadcha dahi. So dahi is a curd or yogurt which they make in small earthen pots, and it tastes so good. It tastes heavenly. And apart from dahi, there's a lot of traditional Maratha dishes going on, like zhunka bhakar. You can eat it with some fritters like kanda bhaji on the side, and there's thecha. Thecha is like a chutney made from crushed chilies, and all this tastes so much better with those views.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can trek from Sinhagad Paitha to the top, or you can even take the car or your bike, your vehicle, all the way to the top.
Okay. So
there's two options to go to Sinhagad. Obviously the trek is more interesting, but it's a bit like if you are lazy, you don't want to go up, you can take the bike and just reach the top.
Yeah, definitely. And it has a very, very beautiful history also. Yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
So you must have watched the movie Tanaji, Bollywood movie. So the fort in that movie is Kondana Fort. And most of the people were searching where is Kondana Fort in India, and they don't find it. So this is because it's renamed. Actually, Sinhagad Fort is Kondana Fort. Sinhagad's earlier name was Kondana. And after Tanaji Malusare died in that battle, Chhattrapati Shivaji Maharaj was very sad, and he said the words "Gad ala pan simha gela," which means we won the fort but lost our lion. And that's how Kondana was renamed as Sinhagad. So now if you want to see Kondana Fort from the movie, you just have to visit Sinhagad Fort.
Yeah, absolutely. Kondana Fort, apparently it was named after Kaundinya, right, the sage. And it has this rich history in terms of Tanaji Malusare, right? He was the kind of a general of Shivaji, yeah?
Yeah, he was the general, and it's the point which is on the top, and from there you can see the whole Mula Mutha region, and this historically this region was full of riches, and they wanted this Kondana fort because they would have the control over whole Pune if they could get Kondana.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, like I was saying, very, very rich history, and it has exchanged hands several times between the Marathas and the Mughals who were trying to gain control of this fort. But obviously, the most famous story of here is that of Tanaji Malusare and how he kind of conquered it, right? That was also really interesting in terms of
Yes.
him choosing to kind of ambush the people who are holding the fort at that time by kind of scaling it from the steepest side, and it is believed that he actually followed the path of a lizard, right, to
Yeah,
scale the fort. Yeah, it all makes for a great story, and I'm not surprised that Bollywood kind of chose to remake or re-say that story,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So that place from which Tanaji Malusare climbed, that steep cliff you can see at Sinhagad, it's called Tanaji Kada. So if you want to see that place actually in real life, you have to head over to Tanaji Kada.
Yeah. So yeah, very important story, and yeah, makes for a brilliant trek, and especially with a great background and a backstory like this, I think it makes the trek even more exciting. So do make it a point to check this out. And what was the other trek you were referring to, Shraddha?
Yeah, the other one I was referring to is Rajgarh.
Okay.
So Rajgarh is the fort which you must visit for nature and its beautiful views. So I just want you to imagine right now you are standing at 4,500 feet height, and it's the end of monsoon season. There's a blanket of wildflowers beside you which are gently swaying in the wind. The clouds are rushing ahead and the cold wind is blowing in your face, and then the sky slowly turns from black to red, orange and yellow. So what you imagine just now is sunrise at Rajgarh Fort.
Oh, nice.
And in terms of difficulty, like, I mean, is it difficult trekking these forts, or like how much time do they usually take?
It will take around an hour to 2 hours,
Okay.
depending on how fast you go, how pro you are. But both of these forts are easy, and Sinhagad actually has a tar road all the way to the top, so it's not much of an effort.
Okay. Very interesting. And yeah, like I said, this is another one to add to the kitty of things that you can do in Pune. But yeah, while you're doing all of this, there's also a good chance you'll get
Hungry.
Yeah.
So why don't you call out some of the joints, Shraddha, that one can go ahead and explore and, savor the Pune food.
Yeah, actually, I have a huge list of what to eat in Pune on the blog, but I'll mention the ones which you can't miss when you are in Pune.
Okay.
So first one is obviously Chitle Bakarwadi. It's world famous and it's sold even internationally. So you just have to taste it. And the second, I would say Puneri misal. You have to try it. And of course, Vada Pav. In Maharashtra, you just have to taste Vada Pav.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, and there's this interesting place called House of Paratha on JM Road.
Okay.
So they have a thing called Bahubali Thali, which is so huge. It's so huge that no one has finished it eating till today.
Oh my God. Okay, I would like to. I would like to volunteer.
Faiza would like to take up the challenge.
Yes.
Yeah, if you want to take the challenge, you want to set the record, you can come and try it.
Oh my God. Okay. Nice for all of our food listeners. If you ever want to go and challenge yourself to eat the
Bahubali
Bahubali Thali. Yes. Okay.
Bahubali
Sorry. The Bahubali Thali. You know where to head. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And along with the food, shopping is also, I mean, very, very mainstream, right?
Before shopping, before shopping, I would like to mention one of my favorite place.
Okay.
Favorite thing which I like to eat, Molga Podi Idli at Vadeshwar, which is on FC Road. So this idli is fried and it comes with amazing gunpowder chutney, which is like a burst of flavors in your mouth.
Oh, nice.
So you can try. Yeah, so you should try this one too.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely,
so
yeah.
after you've like filled your tummy, what best to fill your heart with shopping?
Exactly. Yeah, tell us
Yeah.
some of the options in terms of shopping, right? Because that's also very, very mainstream in Pune.
Yeah, Pune has a lot of local markets along with many upscale shopping malls.
Okay.
My favorite places for shopping or window shopping are Lakshmi Road first,
Okay.
then MG Road. Also, FC Road is also good. It has this youngsters vibe, and one more cool place is Tulsi Bagh.
Okay. Huh. And what about if you have to suggest somebody to take a souvenir back from Pune? Any local souvenir that you would suggest?
You can buy a Puneri pagdi,
Okay.
which is like a turban, but it's a bit different. You can buy it as a
Okay.
souvenir.
Okay, that sounds very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a lot of things to do. And yeah, just to be clear, these are all just like scratching the surface, like you say. There's a full
Yeah.
exhaustive. I mean, it's probably not even exhaustive, but yeah, there's a very, very detailed list that Shraddha has put together on a blog, both in terms of
Yeah.
where to shop as well as where to eat. So we'll make sure to link that, and do not forget to check that out in the show notes section. So Shraddha, like we mentioned, there's a bunch of things in Pune, and yeah, this episode is definitely not enough. But really glad that you have kind of blogged about this in depth,
Yeah,
in
thank
detail.
you.
So we will link all of these in the show notes of the podcast. But as we start to kind of wrap the things, right? Is there more that you'd like to call out about Pune?
Yeah, when you are in Pune, you should check out Puneri Patya.
Okay, what is this?
So, Punekars have a very sarcastic way to explain any situation. So, there's no beating around the bush. We are just blunt and direct on the face. And this type of attitude flows throughout the city. And then you can see it on some signboards which can be found all around Pune.
Okay.
So, let me give you one example. One such signboard hangs outside the local crematorium, and it says, "Drive safely if you don't want to end up here."
Oh.
So, so you can see how a simple fact is explained effectively in just a few words,
Yeah.
and it also gives you a punch in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a wake up call. Yeah.
One more I'll like to mention here. This one was written on a car. It says, "आम्ही रस्त्यावर मुक्काम करीत नाही, कृपया हॉर्न वाजवू नये." Which means we are not sleeping on the road. Please do not sound the horn. It's like a shock to the outsiders, but for us it's fun. And there's no parking signs like टायरची हवा गेली तर आम्ही जबाबदार नाही, which means if your tires get punctured, we are not responsible.
Oh my God. Okay, that's a subtle warning.
Yeah.
But I love these quirky signs, right? So definitely
Yes.
check these out while in Pune, and yeah, don't be too shocked. I think it's the Puneri way of kind of
Yeah.
pulling off these subtle
One more
humor.
last
Yeah,
one I would like to
yeah.
mention. There's one more which is written in front of a gate, in front of a bungalow on Bajirao Road, and it says, "हो मी गाढव आहे म्हणून मी गेट समोर गाडी लावतोय," which means, yes, I am a donkey, that's why I'm parking my vehicle in front of your gate.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's so passive aggressive, but
I
yeah,
know.
it definitely delivers the message, and not often in a subtle way, right? I love these messages. Shraddha, thank you so much over the past half hour, 45 minutes, whatever. You've taken us on this beautiful journey through Pune, right? And the different things to do in Pune. Any closing messages to the listeners of the podcast?
Okay, so I want to mention that I'm in the process of compiling an ebook guide for anyone who wants to travel to Pune city. So I'm just trying to include anything and everything about Pune in this ebook. So if you are interested, you can just drop the email in the form which I have on my website. And by the way, all this information which I said till now, it's all written down, very nicely presented on this link, shepherdtraveler.com/Pune, and traveler is with double L. Also, I want to give this message. leave the mountains in a better condition than you found them.
Yeah.
For this, what I want you to do is just pick up at least one piece of trash, plastic trash preferably. For example, one plastic bottle or one lace packet, and bring it home along with your own trash. And if you can collect more, it's even better. So I just want to end this podcast like this: leave the mountains better than you found them.
True. That's very well said, Shraddha. Yeah.
Great way and great message. And yeah, I think the need of the hour is to save these beautiful places, both the gifts of nature as well as these historic monuments we have, right? Save them for us, and save them for the future generations as well. And as much as you
Yes.
can, leave them in better condition than you found them in. Shraddha, thank you so much. Really had a wonderful time going along with you around Pune, discovering these wonderful gems of Pune. And we'll definitely link to all of these resources that you've mentioned, along with your upcoming ebook as well. And yeah, Shraddha has done a bunch of travels, not just in Pune, but even beyond. She's done a brilliant trip around Europe as well that she has kind of funded by herself, and she has some great insights into how she has done that. All of those will be linked in the show notes section of the podcast, so do check it out. Once again, Shraddha, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for being on the podcast and taking us around this wonderful place, wonderful city called as Pune. And as I sign off, I'll give you one more little trivia about Pune, which is that the game of badminton, right? Shuttlecock, like we call
Yeah.
it, that was actually, it was around for a long time, but it became popular while the British officers stationed here started playing it. And for the longest time, it was also, the game itself was referred to as Pune, right? So that's a very quirky fact I found out while looking up about Pune. So thank you so much, and make sure you check out this gem of a city in the western part of India. Thank you, Shraddha. Loved having you on the podcast.
Thank you, Shraddha.
Actually, the pleasure is all mine. It's like a dream coming true to be on this podcast.
Thank you, Shraddha. That was yet another great episode of the Musafir Stories. If you guys like the show, please subscribe to us on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Savan, Pocket Casts, Castbox, Stitcher, or any other podcasting app available on iOS or Android. Please do leave us a review on iTunes. It goes a long way in the show's discoverability. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We go by the handle The Musafir Stories. Or, if it suits you, you could email us at themusafirstories@gmail.com or visit our website at www.themusafirstories.com for more information. All of these links will be made available in the show notes section of each episode. So here's to more traveling, sharing, and inspiring. Stay tuned for our next episode. Until then, happy travels and goodbye.